after having gone through this, I can't recommend them to you, which is, that makes me sad. So I don't get any joy in what's happening. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're back at the Bee Castle Bee Yard, and it's been a full 21 days since I was here last. Now, you just saw me here last weekend, but I've since gone back, inspected the other bee yard, and you've seen that. And then I've come back here. Actually, this is my 4th time back at this bee yard since I've installed those queens that we purchased. And I'll tell you why, and why you didn't see this video directly after the one where I installed the queens. And that is because when I came out, I did film that video, and I filmed the week after that as well, and I'm filming this one, and this one you will see. But the last 2 times I was out here, I did film it, and I was planning on coming out here and seeing wondrous things inside these hives with laying queens, with big fat bottoms running around, doing only what it is that brand new queens can do. And unfortunately, of the 9 queens that I purchased for $333, in the 6 that I installed here and the 3 that I installed in the other bee yard, only 2 of those queens are laying. I've got one in the purple hive, you've already seen that, and I've got one in one of these hives that is laying. The rest of the hives have queens in them that are running around like virgin queens. They're not laying any eggs. And as of last week, which was the 3rd week since I installed them, their 3rd Friday since I installed them, they were not laying. So I did, before I left last week, I did give each one of these hives a frame of eggs from another hive here in hopes to get them to either start laying, thinking, okay, this is my hive, I'm going to lay, or get the bees in those hives to supersede the queen that is in that hive and create queen cells. So today, what I want to see in these hives is I want to see eggs. I wanted that the only thing that will make me happy is if I see eggs from these queens that I installed. If I do not see eggs, I want to see queen cells from the brood that I provided these girls last week so that they can supersede these queens. And if I don't see queen cells and if I don't see eggs, then it looks like what I'm going to have to do is pinch these queens and go off and purchase queens from another provider out there on the internet, or I will go to Mountain Sweet Honey in Toccoa, Georgia, and get some nice Italians there. I know that those are great queens, because anytime I've ever installed mated queens in my apiary in the past, you know, when they showed up, they were already kind of long. Their abdomens were expanding, and they were laying within a couple of days. Like I said, it's been 21 days, and I've not seen the first egg out of 7 of these queens. So there you go, there you have it. Let me get my gear on, my smoker lit, and let's start checking these hives, and hopefully things are going to work out. If not, well, we'll have to make some other decisions. All right, let's cross our fingers and hope that this hive has a laying queen, not just a running around doing nothing queen. I did bring a frame hanger this time, and I still have my book. I'm keeping track of what's going on here. Hello. Boy, I hope everything is working out. That would be the best possible scenario. And you know, I understand things happen, right? We understand that things happen. But the fact that this company has been so non-responsive to all of my emails, all of my requests, I've sent them 2 emails, responded to another, and I've also filled out their web form twice. And they're pretty much ignoring me. All right, there's a teacup. Of course, it's empty. They're not very loud, which tells me in their mind they have a queen. Okay, we have a full frame of nothing, no eggs at all. We have a little bit of bee bread and a little bit of honey. No eggs on the backside either. No eggs. We have nothing going on there. Make sure the queen's not running around on the bottom. That's where she likes to hang. Okay, now this is the frame of brood that I gave them last week. Let's see if they've made any queen cells. Nope, they've capped it. No queen cell, which tells me they believe they have a queen. The big zilcheroni. Same thing on the other side. No eggs anywhere on this frame. Nope, I don't see her. Oh, 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 there she is. I got her. Hey, come here. Come here. Gotcha. Gotcha. I got her. You're not going back in there, lady. You're done. You are done. Ooh, now they're mad. Uh-oh. Yeah, that angered the bees. Okay. You're getting the smasheroni. All right, we're officially queenless again. Yep. Before, last time I was here, had a new queen not yet laying. Number 4, dispatched, sterile queen. Toast. And it sucks to have to do that. It's only the second time I've ever killed a queen. She might as well have been a laying worker. Laying worker would have been better. At least it would have had eggs. Lucky number 7. I'm feeling good about this one. Come on, give me a laying queen or some brood, please. Hello. So there's a drone. There's a big old fat drone. Show me a queen, make me happy. Okay, we have bees, we have bee bread, we have honey, we have empty cells, we have no eggs. Big zilcherino. Here we go. Okay, this is the brood that I gave them last time, and they are capping it because they have a queen in their minds. Okay, whoa, wait a second. Okay, we have a charged queen cell down at the bottom, so they are making themselves a new queen right there. We have 2 of them right next to each other. So they have used their brood wisely. Okay, I do have to find that queen though. I mean, would they dispatch their own queen? I don't see her. I don't see her. Saw her last week. All right, no queen. All right, let's go to the next one. Okay, let's hope these girls made. Okay, this is honey and they're capping it. All resources there. All resources there. Honey and they're capping it. Okay, what do we have happening here? Okay, this is honey and bee bread. The other side. There are definitely no eggs on this frame. Okay, I know I gave these girls a frame of brood. I just don't know what frame it was. We'll find it when I get there. Hopefully it's got a couple of nice big old fat queen cells on it. Okay, that is bee bread and honey. No eggs. No eggs anywhere on there. Okay. No eggs at all on there. Do you see a queen? This side, no eggs. That's bee bread and honey. Nope, nada, zilch, zippo. Zilcheroni. This is a massive queen cell they've built right there, but there's nothing in it. 100% empty though. There's a hole in the side of it. I don't know whether you can see it there. The other side, no eggs, just bee bread and honey. Okay, here's the brood that I gave them. They have not made a queen cell. Now why is that? You don't have a functioning queen, ladies. Your queen sucks. There she is. See her right there? See how tiny she is? I don't know whether you can see that. There she is. Non-productive queen, doing absolutely nothing. I'm going to go ahead and cage her. Miss, I cost you money, but I'm not going to lay an egg. Come on out. She's hiding in the gutter. I got her in there, but she's so tiny she'll probably get out. See, because I've got her in there, they're not making any more queen cells. That's a problem, because this queen is not laying. Okay. No eggs. Okay, not the first egg. 0. Drawing that out. No eggs, of course. Okay. Guess I'm gonna have to dispatch her. Let me double check to make sure that I do not have any eggs on that frame. This is the frame that I gave them. So that brood was given to them by me 6 days ago. Now if I see an egg on here, I'll let that queen stay. Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody sees this. This is the frame. I don't know, I can't even see it myself. Okay, this is the frame that I found her on. I gave them the brood that you see in there. There's not the first egg anywhere in there. There's not one egg in this hive, yet that queen runs around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dispatch her. She may have come back into this hive. I tried to let her out to get her in my fingers so that I can show you over there, and she got away and flew, but she's flying, which means she can fly. So we found 2 queens, dispatched one, the other got away from me. I don't know where she went. She may have gone back to the hive. We may have to redispatch her. I'll come back and check after I'm done filming. 6 frames with something going on. And one of those frames is a frame of brood that I provided to these girls last week. So in short, fellas and fellettes, I got ripped off. I was sold a bill of goods. Big zilch. I'm the proud owner of 2 $150 queens. Only 2 of them were laying. Thus far. I mean, I'm not calling it yet. So far, every hive we've been in has been a dud. Here we have nothing going on there. Honey. No queen, no brood. Big zilch. On this side we have bee bread, honey. And I will look for the queen. See if you can see her. You saw what they look like now. They're very tiny. Zilch-a-roni. Now, if you're new to this channel, well, then you don't know, but those who know that these are Beecastle hives, and I am fortunate enough to have Beecastle as a sponsor this year. They've provided me with a bunch of hives. The girls love them, even though I can't seem to get a queen. But the girls love them. What do we have happening there? Anything? Just bee bread. I'll see if I can find the queen. And while I look for the queen, let me tell you about Beecastle. Hey, you know the shameless plug was coming. Beecastle hives, in my opinion, are some of the best hives out there. They are right and tight. They provide great value and utility for the price. Get a full hive kit and everything you need to start your bee season. And these hives are good. They're all nice and square. And like I said, they are at a good price. Beecastle will get some off in the mail to you. All you have to do is go to their website. I've got a QR code on the screen. You can either visit them on their Amazon store, or you can visit them at www.beecastleltd.com. That's www.beecastleltd.com. That's www.beecastleltd.com. Oh, there she is. Okay. So there she is, another tiny one, right? I don't know if you can see, she's right there. Okay. Got her. I wish I could put her back in her cage and then mail them back to these people. Maybe I can do that. Okay, I'm going to try to let you see her now. Can you see her in there? I could try to get the light on it. That is her. This is 21 days after install. She is tiny. Her abdomen has not expanded. She has not laid the first egg, which means those girls have completely wasted a frame of eggs. And their colony's getting older by the second. So there you go. That's what I'm dealing with. I guess at this point I can tell you I got these things from worst queens I've ever had. Every one of them is a dud except for 2 out of 9 queens that I bought. 9 queens. I got 2 layers. The rest of them are like this. It's terrible. I'm sorry, girls. She's not producing. I will bring you another frame of brood. And I will also see about buying some new queens. I'm sorry. Here's something else I noticed about that queen. Her wings were torn up. Her wings did not look good. They looked shredded. I don't know why I didn't squash that one. I wanted to keep it just to make sure that I could show it in front of the camera. So here's the situation. I've already mentioned the name of the company. Now, if it was beeped out in this video, that's because I had finally communicated with them. I've been trying for 3 weeks, just to no avail. But here's the situation. I don't like the position this has put me in. I mean, you know, I ordered some queens that were supposed to be mated, and they sent me some queens that obviously weren't, or not mated well, or not mated well enough to even lay an egg, and they won't even talk to me about it. And it put me in a situation, primarily because I'm a YouTube beekeeper and I shared with you my installation of the queens, and I have to share with you my follow-up. And after having gone through this, I can't recommend them to you, which is, that makes me sad. So I don't get any joy in what's happening. Just so you're aware, I don't like this, because maybe I'm the one guy that slipped through the cracks, and maybe they have a fantastic company and people have had wonderful luck with them, and they have the best queens on the planet. But the 9 that they sent me, well, 7 of the 9 that they sent me sucked. And now I'm out a bunch of money, and my hives have been put way behind in where they should be after having moved them over here. So it's kind of put me in a really bad position that I should, you know, do I carry on as if it was a fluke and say, hey, these were great? Well, I'm not going to fib to you, so I can't tell you, hey, these are great. But if I tell you that I've got a problem with these bees, do I share the problem and where I got them, or do I share the problem and just not tell you where I got them, and then maybe you would have that problem, and I wouldn't want that to happen? I'm kind of in a no-win situation for the bee supply company that sent these to me. And if they would just communicate, if they would just talk to me, then it would make a world of difference, because then we could talk about it. I could show them the video before it goes public and say, listen, this is what's going on. Can you help me? But they won't even respond to my emails. I don't know why. Maybe they're super duper busy, I don't know. But they responded to my first inquiry regarding the order and that I was having an issue the very next day after I submitted it in the web form. Then I responded to her email twice. Nothing. Dead silence. No, just nothing. Just radio silence. So then I went back onto the web form. I filled it out again, and I put a copy of those 2 emails into the web form and submitted that. And I've still not heard anything back. And it's been, again, 21 days since these queens were installed. And there's not a lot of good things happening here. I've got nothing but honey here. No queen. Nothing. All right, here's another one. It's the cage. Nothing happening there, no queen. Got to look on the bottom as I go here. These queens are bottom dwellers. Okay, we have no eggs, no brood. All we have there is honey and a little bit of bee bread. Absolutely zilcho happening there. Okay. Here we have bee bread and honey. Bee bread, honey, and empty cells, no eggs. And no queen. I don't see her. It's hard for me to find these queens because they're so doggone tiny. They just never grew. I think I can show you one that did grow, and it turned out to be a pretty good queen. She's in hive number 15. Now this is all the brood that I'd given them. Oh, and they made 2 queen cells. They've got one here and one there, so they are superseding. They're getting rid of her, and these are supersedure cells. These are right in the middle of the frame. They're getting rid of her. That's good. There's the other side of the brood. Now again, this is the brood that I'd given them. They've made 3 more queen cells back here. Well, 2 of them capped. One is not charged. Another supersedure cell right there. I'm going to leave these girls alone. I should probably pick one of these queen cells out and give it to these other hives. Where's that queen? I'll find her and give her a ride in the old Pinchtown Express here. Excellent. Will this queen be laying after 21 days? My guess is no. Hello, Hive 19. How are you? What we got going on here? Please let this queen be laying, and we will have 3 queens, which make them $103 a piece. Okay, they're drawing out comb. Okay, this is all bee bread, all honey. Never seen that much bee bread stuffed into a frame before. Okay, this is bee bread, honey, and that's all. We have an attempted supersedure cell, but of course no egg on this frame. Let's see if we have a queen on this frame. Don't see her, but then again, they're tiny and they're hard to see. It's a busy hive. Okay, this is turning into a nightmare. There's a ton of drone brood getting captured. I'm just hoping. Do we have a queen cell somewhere that's viable? There's nothing in that. So there's our queen right there. There she is. She's one of the dark ones that we got from, well, they're trying to supersede her. Let me look for eggs. Maybe she's going to be able to save herself. I mean, they're replacing her right now anyways. But it looks like she's laying drone brood, which tells me she's not mated. Okay, this is the frame I gave them, and they've got queen cells on it. Okay, there you go. The other was drone cells, which tells me that queen is sterile. She's laying drone eggs. There she is. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to show you this, and I'm going to try. See if you can see her in that cage moving around. She's another super tiny queen, and this one's laying drone eggs. This is the worst. All right. Here you go. All right, well, there you go, and there you have it, the end of another adventure. Now, this adventure didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. I wanted this adventure to turn out positively. I wanted to find all of those queens laying up a storm inside of each one of those boxes, frames and frames of brood, and everything was going to be right with the world. And unfortunately, that has not happened. Our queens from this bee supplier are duds. And I mean, well, two of them are working for $400. It was $333 plus tax. It came up to over $400 for 9 bees. And for $400, I got 2 viable queens. One is in box number 15 here, and she's laying, and I've got one in the purple hive back at the other apiary, and she's laying. The rest of them are duds. And today we have proven that. We found the queens, no eggs, no brood, no capped brood, no nothing inside of the hives, just these queens wandering around. We dispatched a couple of them. One of them flew away when I tried to dispatch her. I tried to catch her and show her to you. She flew away. Another one I saw on the bottom of the box. I'm going to count on the bees to dispatch her, and 2 more of them I'm taking with me, and I'm going to take pictures of them. I've got them in queen cells. I had enough wax to plug 2 queen cells, or queen cages, so I've got them in there, and I'm going to take some good pictures and send them off to the supplier in hopes that they will do the right thing and fix this mistake. I don't know how I managed to get sterile queens, but I managed to get sterile queens from them. But that's neither here nor there. We'll give them a shot to make it right. I won't name them on here, and I probably said their name a couple of times during the video. I will beep that out, and if they make it right, I will just I will not name them. I'm not going to name them for doing a great job, because thus far the customer service hasn't been very good and the queens have been terrible. But if they make it right, at least I won't name them, because I don't want to be responsible for them losing business. Maybe this was a fluke and they're so busy they can't talk to me, and this is the first time ever their customer service failed. I don't want to be responsible for harming their business, but I do want to be treated right as a customer who purchased their queens in good faith. So with all that said, that brings us to the end of the video, and before we get much further, I want to let you know, let's end on a good note. It's all going to be okay. We're going to stand these hives up. It's all going to work out. It's all going to be fine. Life will continue, and these hives will be rocking and rolling next year, gathering the goods. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. If you have something to say, by all means, please comment. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, take a moment, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell to be notified of my new content. I do try to drop a video every Friday. We try to keep it light and have fun. So with all that said, be happy, and I will see you next week. Take care. Now I've got to get back to work.